Alright, good morning guys. MWUSA Season 5, Episode 173. It is Sunday morning, we're still in Vegas. Our flight leaves this afternoon, and it was an unexpected change yesterday. Obviously, I played until about 6 in the morning, and from then I slept for about 3 hours, and I'm back on the strip walking around. I haven't even taken a shower yet. My friend is still sleeping. I don't want to wake him up. And let's see if we can get a couple hours in and then grab some food, go back, get changed, get ready to go, and we'll head back home. But it's been definitely been a long trip. Definitely a lot of work. Definitely not a lot of sleep. But we have learned quite a bit on this trip, and it's going to be useful for our next trip. We have already started making plans for our next trip, and it is not going to be Vegas. It's going to be an area I haven't been to. We'll see how it goes. Right now, my phone is at like 11% because I haven't charged it, because I haven't done anything. I haven't rested, hardly. So right now we are walking around the strip. We're moving on to our next spot here. I just stopped at one place and didn't find anything. We're going on to another one, and hopefully, I'd love to get a little bit of blackjack in this morning. I think it's very possible, and we'll see what happens with that. But right now, just trying to take it one step at a time, literally. Definitely tired, but these are our last few hours, so let's see what we can do. I'm looking down the strip. I see the new guitar being built, and I think it's ugly. Everybody here hates it. Caesar's built like a large sign that when you're parked near it, it completely blocks out the guitar from the strip. So everybody hates it already. It's already one of the biggest structures on the strip, if not the biggest from what I'm seeing, height-wise. And it's only about 2/3 built height-wise. So it's going to be huge. I don't know how they allowed that to happen with airplanes coming in and out. But anyway, let's head on in here, and I'll be back to update you soon. Alright guys, at this point, now I have my phone battery saver on as high as it'll go. We're down to 8%, so I don't know if I'll be able to record anymore for a little while, but we moved on to the next place, and we're able to find a couple small things and make a little bit of money, but right now we're running out of time, so we're heading back to the room. He's awake now. Get my shower, get some breakfast, and probably head to the airport shortly after that. So I think that's what we're going to do. We ended the session ahead, $212, so that's something at least. Pays for breakfast, right? And we're going to head out of here. So that's where we are right now, and I'll be back. People are freaking crazy. The place just opened up that serves those giant drinks. There must be 75 people in line for that. People are insane, man. How can you do that to your body first thing in the morning? All right, almost back here to the hotel, and I'll come back. All right, guys, I am back now. I got a bunch of stuff to update you on. So, got back to the room, and I hadn't taken a shower yet from the day before. So my friend was there. I said, hey, just give me like 15 minutes. Let me get changed, get a shower, all that stuff, and I'll be ready to go. So he went downstairs. I hopped in the shower, and man, that felt really good. I mean, after a while, your body just starts shutting down. I've talked about this before. You get that lactic acid building up when you sit down, and you just don't want to stand up anymore. You can't get out of the car. You can't get out of your seat. So it does get pretty bad. And part of what I've struggled with the whole time I've been in AP, ever since I started traveling, ever since I got kicked out of my local, is management of time and energy and all that, because it's like you're trying to get that extra time in, but as I've had to travel further and further, it's like I want to squeeze every minute I can out of it, and sometimes you overdo it, and really your body starts to almost shut down. But so finished that up, and I called him. I said, hey, I'm ready to go. What do you want to do? Let's get some food. So we decided to go get some breakfast, but at this point it was already like 11 o'clock. So met him downstairs, and we were looking at the time because I had to leave around 2 o'clock or so. So we decided to go over by South Point, and there's a Greek restaurant there called Yanni's. And my friend had been raving about how great this place was and stuff. So yeah, let's go over there. So we got there around 11. No, we got there at noon. Because just a lot of stuff. It was so busy traffic-wise. But let me just backtrack for a minute. So this was Sunday morning. So Saturday night, Vegas was pretty much dead. You know, you got all these people on YouTube saying Vegas is dead and no one's visiting Vegas anymore. And then you got these other people saying, oh, it's only down 1 or 2%. Believe me, Vegas is dying. It is not doing well at all. Casinos are empty. Whole areas are empty. It's Saturday night when people were spilling into the street all the time. And it was pretty quiet in Vegas. So, you know, I am concerned about what's going to happen here when the economy goes down eventually. And Vegas is depending on whales, who may be backing off a little bit when the economy goes down. And the average person's not going to be going because it's so overpriced already. Imagine when the economy goes down, the average person's going to say, forget about Vegas, I'll just stay at my local casino. I don't need to mess with that. And I think it's going to get worse and worse. So I'm looking for probably in the next 2 years for there to be a correction in the real estate market in Vegas for sure. And I'm hoping maybe I can get in on that and maybe buy a condo or a house out there. Spoiler alert. So we go to Yanni's and we sit down. They had just opened. We might have been the first people in there for the day. We sit down and I ordered this. I was going to get a gyro plate with rice and fries. And I ended up getting a shawarma beef, which is just a different kind of seasoning on there than the gyro. And it was pretty good. What I didn't like about it is they had it cut in small cubes. And I like the bigger chunks of meat. I like the way the gyro's sliced. But it was okay, but it was just a lot harder to eat because the pieces were so small. You're trying to use a fork. You're trying to stab a million pieces of meat to eat them. But it was tasty. They gave you garlic sauce, but almost none at all. They gave you this other sauce that was okay, not great. So, you know, I'm sorry. I know my friend loves that place, but I'm going to have to give it about an 8 on a scale of 2 through ace. It was all right, but not great. So we finished up there, and let me see. I'd already returned the rental car the day before. So we went straight to the airport. From there, he dropped me off, and at that point, I was running what I thought was a little bit late, but I'd remembered always that it was so fast to get through the Vegas airport. You'll walk up to a line of 200 people thinking, oh man, there's no way I'm going to get through this anytime soon. And it goes so fast, you don't even have time to get your driver license out, but you just walk all the way through the line and all the way into security. I got through security in about 2 seconds. And then I looked for some slots, but they had really cut back on the beatable slots in the casino, in the airport casino, and I didn't find anything to play, which was fine because I was still pretty tired and only had about 3 hours sleep. I'd gotten to the room at 6 o'clock in the morning. I slept until 9. Then I went back down to the casino. I played and got like $61 from that casino, moved on to another one, made a little bit over $200, headed back, got my shower, and got ready to go. So I was pretty tired from the day and days before that, and I walked about 70 miles while I was in Vegas, so it was a lot of miles. My feet were hurting. They're still hurting now. Got to my gate, got a drink, sat and couldn't sit down actually because all the seats were full, so couldn't even sit down. Feet are aching. Finally got on the plane, and I was in seat 14, all right, in row 14. but I was in the last group to board, so there was nowhere to put my bag. So I had to put my bag in like row 18 or 19 and then walk back to my seat. So now I had a problem. How am I going to get my bag when I get off the plane? So I had to deal with that. And I don't want to wait for everyone behind me to get off the plane for me to get my bag. I sit down, and it's me in the middle seat, a big guy to my right, a big guy to my left, everyone long legs, everyone bumping into everybody the whole flight. It was a long flight, and it was a little bit bumpy, but not too bad. But it was just very cramped with a bunch of big people sitting next to each other. Finally, the plane landed, and I said to the guy next to me, "Man, my bag is like 4 rows back. You mind if I get back there and try to get it before everyone stands up?" He said, "Go for it." I ran back there. I got my bag. I felt so relieved I didn't have to wait for a whole plane load to deplane. But right as we landed, I looked up at the seat next to me. I looked up at the seat number up there, and I see number 9. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm in 14. How is the seat next to me 9? And I'm like, did I just sit in the wrong seat for the whole flight, 5 rows off, on a full plane, and nobody noticed that I was in the wrong seat? Nobody said that I'm in their seat? So when I stood up and got my bag and I came back, I noticed the rows skip from row 9 to row 14. I'd never noticed that before. So I was actually in the right seat, but didn't notice it. Didn't know that. Got off the plane. My wife was waiting for me, and it was nice to see her. We had a nice conversation on the way home, and got home and said hi to the kids. Everybody was excited. Saw about 100 pieces of mail waiting for me, and I'm going to be very excited to go through that tonight. It's going to stink. All kinds of stuff. Things that only come quarterly came in, and all kinds of accounts, statements, kids' statements, insurance for me, for my mom, car insurance stuff, homeowner stuff. It was like everything that could possibly come in came in at the same time. So I'll sort through all that when I get home. But overall, had a pleasant trip home, and everything was fine. The trip could have been better, could have made more money, but learned a lot on the trip. I'll talk about that more in the next episode. But overall, I could complain, but nobody cares. If you made money, you did fine. So for now, I'm going to let you go. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.